What did he say?
What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today, bringing you some Shelby GT500 content.
Alright, so what year is it? Tell me about your car.
It's a 2014 Shelby GT500.
Alright, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I uploaded a video. I apologize with everything going on. It's just been crazy. I also apologize for the fluff. Out here in California, I haven't been able to get a haircut for 2.5 months or so. Been cooped up in our teeny little house. But anyways, ignore the fluff. But today I'm pumped to bring you a 2013-14 GT500 content, which for me is definitely a special car. Definitely a dream car. I hope to one day have one. It's definitely on a short list of basically the cars that if I had the money, it would definitely be in my garage. Why? I don't know. It's just a cool car. There's special cars. It's the last car that basically kind of Carroll Shelby had his stamp on. I know that it wasn't built at Shelby, but it was definitely the last car that he kind of gave his seal of approval. And let's be honest, that 5.8 liter motor with the 2.3 TVS on top is just a special motor. It's got a lot of torque. They hit hard. They respond well to mods. They're just a really cool motor. So really cool car. So anyways, it's also cool because today epitomizes what I love about the industry, and that is the diversity, the difference. Like, everyone has a different idea of what's an ideal build. Some guys want to build a V6, some guys want to do NA, some guys want to add boost, you know, some guys want to do an SUV. And so I've always personally found that cool. I know a lot of people basically will give somebody hate for, say, building up a V6 and, you know, it'll be decently quick or it'll be quick, and then somebody will say, well, yeah, that's cool, but it's fast for a V6. You know, I don't believe in that. If you got passion, you got basically pride in your build, whether you built it or you paid for it to be built, like, it's rad, you know? Like, we're all in it together, and I just appreciate everything. And so when I was at the dyno, up at the shop working on my car, and this dude came in with the 13-14 GT500 with kind of a unique request, it definitely took me back for a sec, but then the more I thought about it, the more I realized, you know what? That's pretty rad. So today, instead of just showing you the dyno runs, showing you the mods, just kind of a quick overview, we're going to dive in to show you how we got there.
Okay. Alright, so what year is it? Tell me about your car.
It's a 2014 Shelby GT500. I'm going to start from the front on the mod. So it has a 2.4 upper supercharger pulley. It has a 123 millimeter JLT cold air intake. It has a twin 65 Cobra Jet throttle body. And then for exhaust, I have, I forgot the injectors. I have the 1050X injectors.
Okay.
And then I have a JBA X pipe.
Okay.
Just have the Corsa quads. I got a bigger fuel filter, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. And a booster pump too, right?
Oh, the booster pump. I forgot about the booster pump.
So what makes this different today? Well, it's not the mods, it's not the car, it was the owner's goals. So the owner came in and decided, you know what, look, I want a lot of common mods that make great power, reliable power, but actually I don't want to bring the car in on kill, which was a surprise because most owners come in and say, I want this thing on kill. I want it right on the ragged edge. I want the tune to have the maximum amount of timing, basically an AFR that is on the aggressive side. And many times tuners don't actually feel super comfortable about that. So to hear this guy come in and say, look, I don't need max power, I want some wiggle room, because the shit E85 here in California is basically known to be not very consistent. And let's be honest, once you throw a few mods to these 13-14 GT500s, they basically get pretty close to the weak spot. And so, as most of you probably know, the weak spot on these cars is the rods. So anything over 750, I know some people say 850, but basically 750 horsepower or so or more at the wheels is basically, you're kind of on the edge. And so this guy came in and said, look, I want plenty of wiggle room. I don't want to have to worry about the fuel. I don't want to worry about the rods. But then can you also give me another tune that's more aggressive with a few more degrees of timing? So I thought that was rad. That's different. You don't see that, you know? And while many people might say, well, what's the point? Like, put that thing on kill. Like, I think it's cool. It's different, you know? So let's do this. Alright, so first thing, tuner got the car on the dyno. let it idle, put it in gear, was kind of revving along, kind of looking at basically everything, all the parameters, and noticed that a few things didn't look right. So what did he do? Hopped in the trunk and started looking at basically what was going on with the booster pump.
Let's see what happens after the tune. This might be the tune. Well, I'm tuning it right now.
Oh, okay.
And what he noticed was the booster pump wasn't set up correctly. Not only was it improperly basically installed, just had to kind of move a few wires, but also a few of the settings weren't right. So before making any sort of pull, any good tuner is definitely going to kind of look at everything. Going to look at fuel pump voltage, going to look at AFRs, going to go look at spark, just going to look at a lot of different stuff just to make sure everything is good before you even make a partial pull. So once basically we verified that the booster pump was working right, the fuel pump voltage was everything was good, then he started kind of bumping it up just to make sure everything was good. And then because the car's on a 2.4 upper, basically at this point, like, there's just no way the car could run on 91 octane, which is the best we got here in California. And so the owner said, look, I don't even want a chance running 91 with some butane or octanium or any sort of fuel additive, octane booster. He just said, you know what, give me an E85 tune. I want plenty of basically safety in there. So after verifying that everything was right, the tuner basically then killed the car and they pumped all the pump gas out of it and filled it up with E85. And then proceeded to basically run the car on the downer for a little bit, varying the RPM, kind of getting it rolling. And what that was basically purging out all the pump gas and getting pure E85 through the lines, the rails, the injectors, all that sort of stuff. Once he deemed that basically all the E85 is in the system, then you can begin to start making some partial pulls. How do you verify that it's basically gone from 91 to E85? Basically, as you can see in these figures here on the tuner, you can see basically the values changing, and as they change, it basically verifies that E85 is completely in the system.
30, like 0.30, not actual 30.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 30% fuel correction. That's the ECU.
Okay.
Adding 30% because I want a gasoline tune with ethanol getting pushed into the engine.
And then you're free to make a few partial pulls. Once everything is legit, you can make basically a pull all the way to red line and watt.
No, I'll put it in the 85 tune.
Ah, okay.
If the AFRs are hanging in there, there's no knock retard, everything sounds good, you're free to let it rip. So let's go ahead and make our first pull. Alright, so after our first pull, tuner was looking at all the numbers, everything looked good.
On everything, the tune is great.
So messing with the timing, the fuel curves, and was ready for another pull.
We'll put a fan on it and see what you do.
Alright, so when the roller stopped, the owner's mild tune ended with 729 horse and 771 foot-pounds of torque. He gave him another kind of an on-kill tune that had definitely another 50 or more horse, but the owner was super happy with this mild tune. He had just gotten the car, and this definitely gave him basically some wiggle room, not only for the bad fuel here in California, but also basically allowed him to get used to the car, have fun with it, and then, what's crazy to say about when 730 horse feels slow, you can then put in the on-kill tune and get a little bit more out of it. So considering basically this is just some basic bolt-ons, 2.4 upper, a bigger throttle body, but definitely not one of the biggest throttle bodies available, or definitely not one of the biggest cold airs, but a bigger JLT, Ford Racing throttle body, still has stock headers on it, has a different H-pipe on it, and some back mufflers. Considering basically just a few handful of mods, is again proof that these motors they're just rad. You throw a little bit at it and the thing makes huge power. So Again, he's not even remotely close to stressing the rods at all, you know. And should he want to build it, put a set of good rods in the thing, you know, build it, then you can make, you know, 1,000 plus no problem. So anyways, hope you guys liked it. Definitely got a soft spot for these 1314 Shelbys. So I hope to one day have one. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for checking out the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one.